John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Viva La Vinyl classic album review. And you guessed it, we are talking about the classic Achtung Baby by U2 from 1991. Absolutely, in my opinion, the best U2 record of all time, and one of the best records, period, of all time. I mean, it is just... you can't pigeonhole it to one genre. It's pop, it's rock, it's industrial, it's alternative. I mean, even that is pigeonholing it. You really just have to throw a bunch of adjectives out there. Dark, moody, mysterious, adventurous, fun, exciting. And, you know, coming off the heels of the Joshua Tree as a studio album, Joshua Tree, which is my second favorite U2 record, by the way, you can sum it up in one or two words: epic and beautiful. But this takes that and just goes in tons of different directions, and you have to really set the scene, because in between those two records was Rattle and Hum that came out in the late 80s, and it was critically panned. Everybody said that this band had become pretentious, full of themselves. And in some ways, I guess I could see that, although it does have some great songs like Desire and Angel of Harlem on it, and some really cool live performances on that record. But it was clear that U2 needed to change, or make a change of scenery at least. And that they definitely did. This was recorded in Berlin, just a few years after the Berlin Wall fell, in Hansa Studios, which is where David Bowie recorded Heroes and Low, and one of my favorite records of all time by Iggy Pop, Lust for Life. And, you know, it was just a crazy fun time. They wanted to experiment, especially the Edge and Bono. They were really pushing that they needed a change of style, and they were listening to a lot of the industrial and electronic dance music of the time. And then you had Adam and Larry on the other end, who were kind of pushing against that, saying no, they want to stay true to their roots and more of rock and roll. And if anything, Larry was listening more to Hendrix and Cream, like classic rock. And I think that the fact that they were not coming together and they were butting heads and disagreeing on just the path that they should go on after Joshua Tree, I think it led to them just opening the door to all these different colors and textures, sonic palettes, and it really worked out for the best, even though the band almost imploded at one point. But, you know, it just turned out to be this beautiful record, and especially the song One, which I was just playing a little bit when you caught me by surprise there, which is my favorite song, period, of all time. I just think it is amazing on so many different levels. But the song was literally written in the studio when they couldn't agree on a song structure that they were working on, and the Edge just had these riffs that he was playing, and the song just came organically out of them disagreeing. And that's what it starts out on. You know, is it getting better, or do you feel the same? And it's these two different people with differing opinions that want to come together, and it becomes this anthemic, appealing to everyone song about you know, we've got to carry each other and love each other. We're one, but we're not the same. It's just such a beautiful, powerful song. If you've seen some of my earlier videos, like Top 10 Songs of 1991, it is at the top of that list. And I went on and on about it earlier this week on the top 10 U2 songs of all time, which you should definitely check out. But my goodness, One is just, it obviously was the linchpin song of this record, and then they could kind of go from there once they could agree on where they're going to go. And even though One does have kind of their classic U2 sound in some way, obviously they did agree to, like on the first couple singles, The Fly and Mysterious Ways, go more electric in sound. The Edge, just, you know, using a lot of different pedals, not just the digital delay that he had become famous with on Joshua Tree. Here he gets more of a dirty sound, different tones, using the wah pedal on The Fly. Such a cool song, The Fly, by the way. I mean, that really introduced this new sound, and it couldn't have been any more different. You know, Bono with those huge sunglasses in that first video, and he's doing just this almost low talking voice on the verse, and then on the chorus comes in with a falsetto, and the two voices coming together. Just one of the many things that throughout this record, they tried so many different things and they worked. And of course, the great Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois, the producers, really pushed them to not only push the limits, but also get them focused back to, you know, not go too far and bring it back to actual song structures like Mysterious Ways. It almost sounds like the riff there is Edge dropping his guitar on the ground or something, but the way they make it work is so perfect. And man, Adam Clayton, I think, is the MVP of this record. His bass just really, I mean, throughout most of these songs, holds the main song structure together, and it just has such a full sound. It really gives you, you can really feel how they had that dance music influence, and he's the one that really gives it that soul, that danceable vibe. And of course Larry Mullen Jr. on the drums, playing around the beat, and also playing some conga rhythms in with that. It's just beautiful. And then they've also brought on additional producers into the mix, like Flood, who they'd never worked before, and Steve Lillywhite, who they worked before on The Unforgettable Fire, and just all of them contributing their ideas and thoughts, because this could have gone way off the rails if it was just up to U2. I mean, we've seen U2 make not so great decisions, not so great records, but when they've got a crack team of producers with them, man, they just know no bounds. And it starts off with Zoo TV, which is just such a cool, you know, it's got that weird noise of, and it's just the Edge like sliding down on his guitar, and it sounds like techno music. He was listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails at the time, and then the Bono's voice has a lot of distortion on it, and a lot of the lyrics are just all over the place, but it gives this sense of adventure, you know, of wanting to live, and he's ready to die also, he says on this song, but he's ready to be alive, he's ready for the crush. I love the lyrics because at one point, you know, they can be so serious on songs like Love Is Blindness, which obviously at the time the Edge was going through a divorce with his ex-wife, and Bono just really, as empathetic a person he is, was able to tune in to the sadness and the melancholy that was going on in the Edge's life, and really brought that out in songs like Love Is Blindness and Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses and So Cruel. But then you've got songs that are just upbeat and fun and almost ridiculous lyrically, like Ultraviolet, where he's like, baby, 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 light my way. And it's almost cliche, but it's done in a way that it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's obvious that they're doing these lyrics in that way. And it's just so wild, because the more you listen to this record, the more just everything becomes so cohesive, part of the whole listening experience. Although obviously it has the standout singles like Mysterious Ways, another one where, you know, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, she moves in mysterious ways. So pop, man. It's just like in any other setting, it would be just, you know, it could have been a Michael Jackson song, you know, but it's, U2 just does it so well. And again, the bass by Adam Clayton on that track is just so, oh man, you feel it coming through the speakers. I love it. Every song on here is classic, even better than The Real Thing. Has that, you know, seductive feel to that song, a great single. Until the End of the World, which is lyrically just brilliant. The conversation between Judas and Jesus, it's just an amazing song. You've got Trying to Throw Your Arms Around the World, a beautiful ballad. Acrobat, which is just a very kind of angry anthem saying, "Don't let the bastards drag you down." I just love this record from start to finish. I could listen to it over and over again. It's probably, I mean, honestly, I've probably listened to this record more than any other record, and that's really saying something, because you've seen me do my top 10 albums of all time, and the likes of the Beatles, Radiohead, Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin are all accounted for, but Achtung Baby, man, it just holds a special place, and you know, the artwork says it all. It's just it's so many different feels to this record, and I think Anton Corbijn's images really just depict how wide of a scope this has. Initially they were going to have just Adam's nude picture and call it Man, but eventually they went with the smarter choice of just having all these really cool images all together and calling it Achtung Baby, which apparently is quoting one of my favorite comedies of all times, Mel Brooks' The Producers, when they say Achtung Baby, which I never caught on to until I heard that they used that from that movie, which is just a classic. If you haven't seen it, Gene Wilder, never been funnier in that. But man, this album, I could not recommend it enough. It is the Edge at his Guitar Hero best. I mean, the stuff that he does on here, he makes his guitar sound like a dentist drill at one point, and just like Hendrix at another point, you know. And Bono's vocals, never been better. I mean, he soars just as good as he does on the Joshua Tree, and then some. I mean, he's doing, you know, these different characters of The Fly, doing the high falsetto, the low. Adam Clayton, the superstar of this record, I couldn't say that enough. And of course, Larry on the drums, just holding his own. I mean, this is U2's crowning achievement. I don't think they've ever done better. I give this a 10 out of 10, A+. Guys, let me know what you think. I would love to hear in the comments below, and I really appreciate you watching this video, guys. I got a lot more content coming, tons more reviews, top 10s, all that stuff. So if you like this, please like, subscribe, and as always, Viva la Vinyl. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, please like, and if you want to subscribe, click the Johnny Radio icon to the right, and also some of my other related content. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.